Hello all and welcome to another video on my journey to 1 million Gamerscore series, and 2020 is done. December 2020 is done, so it's time to bring you all the Gamerscore that I got in December 2020. But a little quick thing before I do, just like to share with you a challenge that I set myself at the beginning of 2020 and managed to achieve, and that was to get an achievement for every single day of the year in 2020. As I say, I was able to do that, so I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that I was able to do that, and I'm hoping for the streak to continue for as long as possible, and we'll talk about what I'm going to do next month at the end of the video. So for now, let's crack on with the games and show you the game score that I got in December 2020. So as usual, like to do these in chronological order, so let's scroll all the way down to the first of 4 games which were completions, 1000G completions, that had an additional 1000G added to them to make a 2000G completion. And it was like almost getting a free game as such, because you get another 1000G, which is obviously what games normally come with. So the first one is Smart Moves, and all they did with this was add more chests that needed to be opened and more snakes that needed to be killed. And that starts here. So 30 snakes, 35 snakes, 30 chests, 35 chests, and 40 chests. So it was just a case of using the trick on the same level that I did to get all of the other achievements, which were just lower amounts of killing snakes and chests. It probably added about another 5 minutes to the completion. Super easy. So if you haven't got the 2000G of this, then it's certainly one to get. It's going to be 2000G in around about 10 minutes if you use the trick on one level like I did. Apart from that, if you've got the 1000G already, it's not going to take you just you did what you did for the first 1000G and you'll get it in no time. Honestly, super easy, that one. I couldn't believe it. And so was this, to be honest. If you actually, X was all done within 5 minutes, the original base 1000G. All they've done with this one is add more energy blocks to light up. It was done on the same day as Smart Moves. So yeah, 25, 30, 35, 40 and 45. And to get 45 blocks lit, you just need to complete every puzzle in the first world. And to be honest with you, you don't really need a guide. There are guides out there that will help you just in case you do get stuck on one, but I found that I didn't need it. I actually did it without a guide, and it probably took me no longer than 10 minutes on top of, what I'd already done to start with. But then again, I'd already had that in the bank. So yeah, the only thing to remember is that just to walk over the question marks on the first 3 levels. It's quite funny that I did that and I was like, I'm still missing one. I've lit up all the blocks. Yeah, I forgot to walk over the question mark on the 3rd level, so I had to go back and do that. Probably took my 5-minute completion up to a whole 6 minutes or something when I just did the first 1000G. But yeah, super easy, the update, and just the 2000G overall. So above that is Darkgrim Mariopolis, and again, 1000G turned into 2000G completion. Had to revisit it and complete it. Now, if your save is remembered from following Chivo Guys' guide like I did, then he's done a second part with just the second 1000G in it, and then you can just carry on from there. And again, that will take you a further 5 to 10 minutes max on top of the 5 minutes it took to get the first 1000G. Unfortunately, my game save had been lost, so I had to follow his guide right from the beginning. So I had to follow his part 1 guide and then his part 2 guide to get me in the position to earn the second 1000G. But it was no time at all. Absolutely no time at all. Again, that one is literally only easy with a guide, so I must stress the with a guide there. But even with a guide, if you haven't got the 2000G, it's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes if you follow those 2 guides of part 1 and part 2 for the 1000G for part 1 and the second 1000G for part 2. Above that, the 4th and final, here's another 1000G added to a game that's already easy, and that was the 50 years. And each one of those achievements is for picking a second faith in all 5 of the temples, I suppose. They're like columns. Every now and again you get awarded a faith skill to pick out of the 5 that are available. In the base 1000G, you've got one for every an achievement for every one part you put in a skill, basically. This time it's now 2. So if you're playing it for the first time, you can obviously work on the 2s straight away, because if you've got it on easy, you don't really need to worry about having the skills. So yeah, what I did is I worked from the left column across to the right column. So I dumped 2 in the first one when I got my second one, and then worked my way across. I got 7 in total. So obviously the 4th column I only could fill half. So once you filled up 3, you may as well start again and then work from the right and do the other 2. And then of course once you've done the other 2 and dropped 2 in each column, job's done and you can just back out. Again, if you're doing it from the off and you use a guide or a strategy just to teach you basically the fundamentals of the game and the best way to go about whizzing through the levels, then this will take you no more than half an hour for the whole lot. 2 playthroughs of this is not long if you know what you're doing, and I think getting that 1000G that was added probably took me around about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you're getting all the other achievements on top of that, bearing in mind there's 2 playthroughs needed to get each one up to 2, then yeah, around about half an hour job done. Okay, above that, Raging Justice. It was in the sale, and I saw it was a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I love my side-scrolling beat-em-ups, so I gave it a bash. This one will certainly not be a quick completion, and it certainly won't be an easy completion. There's a ton of rare achievements in it, and a lot of them are for doing the game on hard difficulties and finishing all the challenges. I say I got quite a bit through a natural playthrough. There was just a few at the top, which I used true achievement guides for and things like that. But completion-wise, if you want an easy one, avoid it. If you want a challenge that's going to take you quite a while, then yeah, go for it. But dodge if you want easy and you want the completion easily. Okay, above that, Saw 2, literally just put it on Christmas Day to start the game, because I remembered that there's an achievement in this game for playing it on Christmas Day. Now you can actually just turn your Xbox 360's connection off so that it's offline completely and it forgets the time and the date, and then you can manually set it to being Christmas Day, and then when you boot up the game it will unlock the achievement. But as my good friend Scott of Glory Hunter said to me, the timestamp will not be accurate, it will not be recorded because it's not online. So that was why I was quite keen to actually do it on the day, or certainly glad that I did do it on the day, should I say. So thank you, Scott. But I've got to play this one. I played the first one. The first one's quite an easy completion, actually. It's just a case of playing through the game. Second one, unfortunately, is full of collectibles and has 2 endings that you need to achieve. There is a way you can achieve the 2 endings without playing through the whole game twice. But as regards to collectibles, yeah, it's one of those, if you miss it, you've got to start all over again. Okay, above that, Sinmora EX. I saw this in the sale, and again, I like a side-scrolling shooter, a shmup, so I knew that's what it was. I just thought, yeah, I'll grab that. However, this is another one that's not an easy completion, and it's not a quick completion either if you're able to do it all. I have the only 2 achievements that aren't rare. One is for achieving a certain rank, and the other one is for failing the prologue. So I was determined not to have the fail the prologue as my first achievement from this game, just in case I couldn't get the other one. But I was able to play the game a few times and enjoy it and unlock that rank, and then I failed the prologue on purpose. All of the other achievements, a lot of them are for ranking up. However, the ranking up on this isn't just a case of getting XP, otherwise I'd be all over it and playing loads of it to get achievements. It's for doing certain things, but it's for doing certain things that aren't easy and for doing things that are, grinding. Something to do a lot, basically. So yeah, dodge that one if you want. Again, if you just want the easy completion and you want Gamerscore out of it. But as a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It's a good game. I can recommend it as a game. Okay, so above that, I'm going to call this Sinkr 2, even though there's no E. Obviously, I played the first one as well. The first one I think was slightly quicker. Can't remember. However, I used the good guide from the good people of Achievement Squad. They've done an absolutely bang-on guide for this. But what I did was I kind of, there's loads of levels when you first start the game that are quite easy, and there's a few hit dotted around here and there. Every level is graded 1, 2 or 3 stars, and it's not all 1 stars and all 2 stars or 3 stars. They are jumbled up a little bit. So what was great about that guide is there are 89 levels in this game, and you basically have to finish all 89 levels to get all the achievements. It's for finishing worlds and getting halfway in full game, and there's a load of other random achievements, but it's for doing things with the pucks in games, which you have to do at some point if you're going to finish every level. So yeah, they time-stamped every level in this guide, which is some feat, some effort. So kudos to the people of Achievement Squad for that. It's so good, actually. It's in a playlist I've got called Guides I Can Vouch For with 100%, but I'm going to make sure I link that one in the description as well, should you want to take this game on, because it is that damn good. the game probably took me longer than it could have done if I'd have just used a guide every time I got a little bit stuck, rather, and I could work out. I used the guide when I did genuinely get stuck a few times during, but the last 10 levels, yeah, I had to use the guides just to get through it. Otherwise, I'd have been there for a very long time, especially the last level. Anyway, their guide runs just over an hour. I always say if you're following the guide and following it all, double it, for allowing for pausing and following. So call it a couple of hours. For me, I probably spent longer with it because I enjoyed the game. I like a puzzle game, so I probably took longer. But yeah, it's not a difficult completion, sorry, if you do use a guide. And this certainly gets filed under easy completion, 5 minutes. But again, you just want to use a guide for this one. And I used the one from Chivo Guides, and again, bang on guide, really good guide. You have to make a couple of saves because you need to get the 3 different endings in the game, and his guide tells you exactly where to create a save a couple of times, and then you just pop into the 2 saves after you've done your first playthrough and get the other endings. It literally takes 5 minutes if you turn on all the skipping and speeding up text that he tells you to at the beginning of the video as well. It's a great guide, so yeah, another one that I highly recommend there. And the same person provided me with a guide for Cold Silence. The guide runs under half an hour long, and that's obviously how quickly you can do it if you can follow it bang on. Nothing wrong with it. I just found the platforming tricky in places, and a couple of times the shadow monster thing caught me and things like that. You have to die in certain ways. You have to do a lot of things like collecting X amount of hearts in one run and things like that, but it's all in the guide. Some of the stuff you'll actually do before he tells you in the guide, just because that's how it worked out for you. I was going to say he defeats the shadow monster or escapes it from it first time in his guide, but I died about 3 or 4 times just because of a bit of tricky platforming. It's not the most polished of platforming in this, but it was all right. So yeah, I died a few times, which meant I had to restart chapter 2 over and over again. So yeah, great guide. Can't fault it. So yeah, use the guide for this one, and you can get it done under half an hour. But for me, it was a bit longer because, as I say, I personally had trouble with the platforming. Nothing wrong with the guide. Took somewhere around about an hour to an hour and a half for me, even though it could have been done quicker. Okay, so I heard about Rec Room. It's a free game. Apparently you can get 700G in less than 5 minutes. I did use one of the many guides out there which tells you how to get that 700G in less than 5 minutes. I've only got 350 because I was having issues with the camera taking pictures, the in-game camera, and for some reason it just wouldn't do it. So after I pulled the quick 350 out of it, I thought if it's not going to work for me, I will just move on and try and work out why at a later date. Perhaps delete my save data and start again. That may help. So yeah, you can get 700G in less than 5 minutes. I've just got the 350 out of it. Okay, above that, Drunken Fist. Nice easy completion this one. I did a little bit of a strategy in it as such. A lot of the achievements are just accumulative for doing the same thing multiple times, basically. But the first achievement that I got was to fall without external influence. So you actually play a drunken person, so you walk like a drunken person all of the time. So if you move too quick, you'll just fall over in a pile on the floor, and that is an achievement. So beyond that, collecting bottles is an achievement. Having opponents slip is an achievement. It's got a rather unique mechanic, shall we say. There's a bar in the bottom left hand corner which slowly fills, and the more it's full, the more you will pee on the floor when you press down on the D-pad, and if people walk on that pee, they slip over. You do actually need people to slip over on your pee a total of 20 times, and obviously there is an achievement for it happening once. So we've got beat 6 enemies, use 3 special attacks. They don't actually have to connect. When your meter is full enough for you to do a special attack, you hold down the left trigger and press B. Eat burgers. Burgers are scattered in the levels. Burgers are what replenishes your health. And then there's complete level 1. There's also complete level 2 and complete level 3. In level 2, I was able to get this without trying. There are several parts where 3 opponents are bunched up together. Hopefully you will be fortunate enough for that to happen to you too before you get all of the other achievements. If not, there is a good spot at the beginning, I think, of level... No, was it beginning or just around the first corner of level 2. But anyway, there's several spots where there are three opponents sort of all bunched up together. Just memorise one of those spots so that if you failed, you can go back to that spot and try and get the achievement. But hopefully you'll get it along the way. It's got a high unlock rate, so I'm guessing it happened for a lot of people. Collect 5 bottles. Yeah, bottles are something you have to collect. I'm not quite sure what they do, but when your beer meter empties, you press left on the D-pad and you drink bottles if you've got one. Beat 24 enemies. Now you'll see a lot of these achievements now pop in before I get to finish level 2. And what I did was, basically, I ate one burger in the level, but there was 2 burgers that were really easy to find in the level. One was on a trash can, pretty much straight in front of you where the first 2 enemies are. And then when you walk across the street towards a couple of other enemies, there's sort of a little dumpster just sort of tucked away, and behind that dumpster is a burger. So what I was doing, I was picking up the 2 burgers and then fighting on until I died without replenishing my health. That is because every time after you get past the first level and you die on the second level or beyond, you get a checkpointed, so you'll refresh back to the start of level 2, but you won't lose any burgers you've got. So I was just stockpiling them so that I could get through level 3 without any fear, just in case, sort of thing. And plus I did need 12, so it was a good way to build up 12 burgers. So after a while I did move on from level 2, and during that I was able to collect 11 bottles, which is the top amount for bottles. I was also able to have 10 opponents slip in my pee, do 12 special attacks. I actually got the 20 as well, and I just did eat a few burgers in level 2 just to get just to get through it without failing, basically. Complete level 2, and then during level 3 I used all the burgers I had every time I lost some health, because I built up a little bit of a stockpile. So I got the eat 12 burgers and I completed level 3. I didn't have the special attacks achievements, but when level 4 started, there's a police officer right at the beginning of level 4. Even though there's a police officer, I think is it level 2 or the start of level 3? No, it's in level 2. It's not at the end of the level or at the beginning of the level. It's not at the beginning of the level, more importantly. So leave him alone. When you start level 4, there's a police officer right at the beginning, and the reason why I say that is because if the police officer actually hits you with his truncheon, it's one hit kill and it's restart level. So at the beginning of level 4, there's a police officer straight away. So mess with the police officer for level 4, and that basically means you have to beat him up enough for him to be eliminated. And the way I did that was, I peed on the floor, let him slip on it, press B, which is a sweeping kick. Then when he got up, I did a special attack. Luckily enough for me, I was on 23, and then I did my 24 special attack against him, and then I did another sweep kick while he was on the floor, and then that was it. He was done, and I got the mess with the police officer, which was my final achievement for the game. It's not difficult, but you might find yourself needing a couple of tries if he hits you with your truncheon. So yeah, beginning of level 4 is where you really want to go for that one, and then after that, should you be missing any, you can just farm them out afterwards. As I say, special attack is just doing it, doesn't have to connect. I was getting ready to sort of like revisit the level and just keep doing special attacks until I got that achievement, but lucky for me, I was only one away. Anyway, that's a unique game done. And then above it this has got a little bit of uniqueness about it, because it's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up which turns into a vertical one on several occasions. Now this one will probably take you a good couple of hours to do, but to be honest with you, even if you're not that good at shmups, it's not that difficult. A lot of it I got kind of along the way. Purchase and upgrade for a ship. Obviously straight away I looked at the store to see if there was any, what the prices were, how many credits would I have to get to be able to afford something. And then I noticed that the spreadshot upgrade, the very first spreadshot upgrade, is free. So I was like, well, 0, get my spreadshot upgraded straight away. Of course I'm going to take it. Counts as an upgrade for the ship, which you are purchasing even though it costs you nothing. So we finished the first level and destroyed the boss, finished the level without collecting any power-ups. After I did the level, I knew some achievements were very specific, and obviously it's going to be easiest on the first level to do a lot of these. So I started trying to take on some of these at periodic stages as my ship was upgrading, but I went for that one straight away and was able to do it. I literally left everything alone. I thought power-ups might just be things that sort of upgrade your weapon, but I left all hearts alone and all sort of little there's other little icons which mean you're adding credits to you before you finish in the level. Left everything alone just in case. And while going for a few of them, I destroyed 500 ships overall, and that was going for the Achiever 50 combo as well. To get a combo, you cannot get hit, and you can't let any enemy pass you and go off the screen. Any of those will reset your combo basically. So then we started playing a few levels. We did level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Then I went back to level 1 for this one, finished the level without taking some damage because I'd upgraded my ship a bit. It was a little bit more powerful. Missed 50 enemies in one level. I went for that as well. Not at the same time. I did them separately. Rescue all 6 astronauts in one of the runs of levels 6 and 12. In each of those levels, there is exactly 6 astronauts. I actually got the 6 out of both of them. And obviously, yeah, unlocked that achievement. So I finished level 6 with at least 1 astronaut rescued. The only thing I can add about the astronauts is you cannot shoot them when you see them because it will make them, I suppose, die. Finished level 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Missed 500 enemies overall. Enemies pass you all the time, so that's naturally gonna come. Alright, level 11. Discovered 12 of the lost astronauts in levels 6 and 12. So, yeah, when you get to level 12, you've got to find all 6 in that level as well. Again, they're not too hard to miss. There is one where if you don't take the right route, you're not going to make it in going sort of along and round. So you may have to restart the level, but that's no biggie. It's only 1 astronaut in that. So I finished level 12 with at least 1 rescue, so that will unlock with that when you go for it. So level 13, purchase final upgrade of any variety. The one that I got was shot power. I was focusing on that. That only has... that gets maxed out at level 3. So the way I did it is obviously I got the free spread shot, then I upgraded my shot power once, then twice, then I upgraded my fire rate, then I upgraded my shot rate again to the top one, and then I added rockets after that as well. So level 14 complete, level 15 complete, beating the boss. There's a section on level 14 where you go from side scrolling to vertical scrolling, and what you need to do is basically stay on the left hand side of the screen, because the right hand side of the screen is a big wide bit for you to pass through. There's a very thin narrow bit on the left hand side of the screen which you need to fly through. That achievement will unlock when you fly through that section, because whatever you need to pick up there is pretty much unavoidable. Again, that's just a cumulative 2,500 ships overall. Rescue 8. Right, these are in the other modes of the game. That is basically all of the astronauts in that mode. It was not tough at all. It was super easy. I got that one very first time. Survive 108 seconds in Shield Maiden mode. In that mode, the timer is at the bottom screen in big numbers in the middle. Can't miss it. I got that on my second attempt. I was not successful on my first run, unfortunately. And then make it to wave 13 in Invasion mode. Again, exactly what it says. I spent a little bit of time on that, not too much. I think I failed twice before I got it. There is one wave where enemies come down and they continue to come down. If they pass you, it counts as wave over. All of the other waves before that, everything will just hover above you and you've got to dodge getting hit. Wave 13 is a boss, so beat the boss, which is wave 13, and you will get that achievement, and in my case that was me getting my completion. So I probably spent a good couple of hours on that one. I think it can be done quicker, but it's just my way of doing it. I enjoyed my time with it, so it wasn't an issue. And then finally, Sengoku 3 decided to play a little bit of Neo Geo to round the year off. And 2 achievements that are missing on this, they are going to be rock hard. That's why they are rare. They're the only rare ones. They've got a low unlock rate. Yeah, it's going to be super tough to get those point margins out of the high score mode, because there's no continues. Your 3 lives are up. You can't lower the level. You've got to play on level 4. Yeah, going to be super tough. If you're one of those people that's got those 2 achievements, then trust me, kudos to you. Well done. But caravan mode, that third marker, Christ, I got so close to it about 10 times in a row before actually just getting over it. Obviously, it's important to get combos, so that will help your score go up a hell of a lot quicker. So yeah, try and get combos, sort of like as soon as you beat out one enemy, try and get to the other one. At the beginning, you've got to make that transition quite quickly. You can also hit objects. There are some objects which you can hit, and that will keep your combo going as well. So yeah, just about nicked the 100,000 in that. The first bracket on high score mode is not too bad. As I say, you can pick the easy level, and yeah, as I say, it isn't too bad, but you can take your time with it as well. You're not restricted to 5 minutes, so that makes getting that 100,000 easy. It's just the other markers of 200,000, 300,000 that'll be difficult. So you update your high score. High score mode has been posted in the online rankings. Yep. Okay, so the original mode achievements 400, 600 and 800,000. I set the level down to 1, obviously, to make it easier. I also upped the lives to 9, but when you do lose all 9 lives and you get a continue screen, your score remains if you continue. It doesn't get reset to 0. And there is plenty. I didn't actually finish the game before I got 800,000, but it was going on for quite some time. It's a good hour and a half I was playing for on the original mode. So once I got to 800,000 and lost that last life, I just let the timer go and then register my score for that achievement there by putting my ranking on the original mode. But yeah, the, what, 820 is it I've got out of it? Can't remember already. Yes, the 820 I've got out of it wasn't too difficult. I mean, that top caravan mode took a bit of time, but generally the 820 out of it's not too bad. But the other 2 achievements left, yeah, honestly, respect you if you've got those. So that is it for 2020, and that is everything I got in December 2020. It's just time for me to tell you what I've got going forward for next year. Obviously, this series will continue until I get to that million. But next month, January, or this month, as the video's going out, me and a few friends are having a bit of a 360 challenge, and that is to see who can get the most gamer score by using just 360 games. Avatar: The Legend of Aang is banned if anybody hasn't got it, but we have all got it now. The one person that was missing it said, well, I might as well get it in December then. So yeah, we're at a 360 contest next month to see who can get the most 360 gamer score. So hopefully there'll be plenty of 360, or there will be plenty of 360 to talk about. Hopefully there'll be a few completions to talk about, is where I meant, or what I meant there. So yes, that's what's coming next month. Now I think it's just finally to say thank you to everybody who's been following me and has been subscribed to me for a couple of years. I'm following this series and enjoying it, and all the positive feedback I've had from it. I know I've gone from sort of fortnightly to monthly, and things like that, but I love getting Gamerscore, but I equally love helping people get Gamerscore as well. So it's never a chore to me, and I honestly hope that my videos have helped you if Gamerscore is your thing. So with that, it just leaves me to say I hope everybody has a wonderful 2021, has an amazing new year, and finally, as always, please do take care.